Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now of course, starting off with the vehicle sitting here behind me, we have the brand new, newly released Pegasi Pizza Boy. Now this thing is behind me here instead of the Vapid Dominator FX, which also came out this week. Both of these are available on Southern San Andreas Super Autos, as you can see right here. The Pizza Boy for $146,250 to $195,000, or the Vapid Dominator FX for $1,550,000. Both of these are available as of right now. However, the Pizza Boy is sitting behind me instead of the FX because this thing actually can make you some pretty good money this week and actually end up getting you a completely free Pegasi Pizza Boy, or at least very close to free, if not free. Now, the Pizza Boy goes for $195,000 on the high end and for $146,250 on the low end. For each pizza delivery that you complete, apparently you're supposed to get $20,000. Now, also this week, going on as a promotion, if you complete 3 pizza deliveries, you also get $100,000, which means you're gonna make 160 grand if you do that. And if you get the hot delivery bonus on one of those 3 pizzas you deliver, you will get the trade price for the Pizza Boy, meaning that you will actually profit from buying it this week if you complete all those challenges. So that is pretty cool. It's not that remarkable of a vehicle. If you want to know more about it, I do have a customization and review out on my channel now, so check that out if you're curious. But anyways, we're going to talk about how to make some money this week in GTA Online, other than that extra $100,000 for delivering those pizzas. So let's talk about it. Sticking with the theme of the last few weeks, we have 4 times RP and double money on a racing game mode. So if you're trying to level up, this is going to be a really good way to do so. And transform races are also really fun. And if you can get a decent amount of players in a lobby, these can actually make you a pretty good amount of money, especially when it's on double money. But that RP is going to go crazy. So if you're interested, this is definitely something that I would recommend checking out. I think it's definitely worth it. And it's definitely something you guys should try out. For your adversary mode bonus money this week, we have double money and double RP on the stockpile adversary mode. Now, to be honest, I've never actually tried this one, but this is something that I'm definitely interested in doing. It looks like it is very plane reliant, or at least aircraft reliant, it would seem. Seems pretty cool. I think I'm going to try it out this week, but this could be a lot of fun and also earn you a decent amount of money. Now, unfortunately, that's where the money bonuses end. However, we do have some discounts this week in online that we will start to go over now, and then the rest of them are going to be found within the dealerships and things like that. So let's start talking about it. Starting off with the discount on the Grotti Vision on Legendary Motorsport. This thing is 30% off this week, and it does have some pretty good customization overall. I'm not a super big fan of the Grotti Vision, however, I can't argue that it is actually a pretty fast car, and for $1,575,000, I don't really think you can go wrong with purchasing it necessarily. It really just depends on if you like the car or not. I personally am not a super huge fan of it. I do have one. I don't really drive it very often at all. If I ever do drive it, it's probably for a video. But it is still a cool car with some nice enough customization and decent enough performance. Of course, it is a supercar, so if you're interested in this one, I would say that this is one that I would kind of recommend. I'm pretty on the fence about it, but for this price, it seems like an okay deal. And if you've been wanting it for a while, now is certainly a good time to get it. Overall, I wouldn't purchase it this week, but if you're even remotely interested, it's 30% off and you can't really go wrong with it. Performance is good, customization's okay. You know, it is what it is. So do with that information what you will. Now under the 4-door section on Legendary Motorsport, you'll also find that the Gallivanter Baller ST is discounted this week, not to be confused with the STD. Now the STD has Amani tech, and it's also one of the fastest SUVs in the game when it comes to racing and just generally getting around. However, the ST is not the same. Now for $467,250, you can't really go wrong with the ST. For $623,000, you can't really go wrong with it, but if you have the trade price, it's a lot more worth it. So this is definitely something that I would check into if you're even remotely interested in getting a Gallivanter Baller. I will say this thing does have quite a bit of customization, especially in comparison to some of the regular Gallivanter Ballers we have in the game, like the Baller LE, which is removed, of course. But this thing can be kitted right out, so this is definitely something I would check into if you're remotely interested in Gallivanter Ballers, Range Rovers, whatever. This is a pretty good deal, and this vehicle generally is an okay deal, but discounted by 30%, you can't really go wrong with it, honestly. So It does understeer quite profusely though, as most Gallivanter ballers do, so you will have to keep that in mind, I will just say that. As I said at the start of the video, we do have two new vehicles, the Pegasi Pizza Boy and the Vapid Dominator FX, but some people seem to like to tell me that I missed the new cars, so anyway, there they are. On Southern, under the 4-door category, we have the Ubermacht Reinhardt discounted this week. This is an all-wheel drive station wagon that is based on a BMW 3 Series in real life, potentially a 5 Series, depending on what you want to say, but I would say it's more of a 3 Series. It has decent enough performance. It's not a slow car. It's pretty fun to drive. It's got nice customization. For 1.1 mil, I'd say this is one you really can't go wrong with owning. You can make it look pretty nice. I think it's generally a pretty cool car. It handles well, drives well. Not much bad to say about it. It's just maybe slightly underwhelming on the performance aspect, but for 1.1 mil, I mean, it's not bad. If you were going to buy it anyways, now is certainly the time to do it because it is 30% off. And on Warstock, for the first time ever, I believe, we have a police car discounted. The unmarked cruiser, which by the way is the worst performing police car out of all of them, is 30% off. But buying it for this price, you will still get access to that dispatch work. So if you're trying to do dispatch work and you want to do it for as cheap as possible, at least so far, this is not a bad discount. So consider this if you guys are interested. Just so you know as well, there's like no customization that you can do to this car as well. So do keep that in mind. All right, so that's it for what I can show you on the websites. It's time to head to the casino and the car meet and talk about the vehicles that are available at both of those places, and then over to the chop shop, of course. Within the casino, the Imponte Ruiner ZZ8 is available to be won this week. This is actually a pretty decent car. It's not the greatest performing muscle car of all time, but it does have some pretty nice customization, and I think it's definitely worth trying to win this week if you can. Within the LS car meet, we have the Grotti Cheetah available to be won, and that's the Cheetah Classic, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to say the classic part. In order to win this, you're gonna have to place top 5 for 2 days in a row. Stupidly easy challenge for a car that is one of the very best sports classics in the entire game and also has some really awesome customization. This is a no-brainer to try to win this. If you got a friend who you can play with, just race them back and forth, and yeah, you guys will do fine. It's definitely worth trying to win this one, guys. Please do not mess this up this week. As far as the vehicles go within the LS car meet, we have what I believe are 3 removed ones. We do have the Carbonizaire, which I know is removed in the middle here, as well as the Annis RE7B, which is also discounted by 30% off this week, guys, as well. And that is going to result in it costing $1,732,500. For that price, you kind of can't go wrong. It's a really good performing vehicle. I believe it's still within like the top 15 fastest supercars in GTA Online. So it's no slouch. It's really good on track. It's a fun one to drive. I would definitely recommend that one for sure. The Carbonizaire, of course, is a convertible sports car. It's awesome. It goes for $195,000. You should definitely own one if you don't. And being that it's here this week, if you don't own one, you should be buying one. And of course, we also have the Bravado Buffalo S, which I do believe is removed off of Southern San Andreas Super Autos. It is normally available for $96,000, and I don't believe that it's here. No, it is not here. You can get the Sprunk version, but not the regular clean version. So if you want it, it's here. Now, performance-wise, it's not amazing, neither is the Carbonizaire, but both of them are really cool vehicles and they are both removed, so I would recommend buying both of them if you can afford it or if you have any interest in either of them. And within Simeon's, we are going to find our final discount, which is on the Truffade Z-Type, and it's going for $665,000 this week due to the 30% discount that it has. So if you want a Z-Type, now is a good time to get one, and this is also, of course, a removed vehicle. So if you do want a Z-Type, now is a really, really good time to get one. Now, it has no customization, the performance isn't awesome, this is purely a vehicle for free mode, but if you do want one, now is definitely a good time to get it. Next up, we have the Vapid Retinue. The Vapid Retinue is an interesting car. It's got quite a bit of customization. I can't necessarily recommend it, but it is a cool car. For $633,240, you kind of can't go wrong with picking one up, but it really depends on if you're a big fan of these older style Ford Escorts, I believe these are based off of. So pretty cool car, definitely one that I would say, you know, if you're interested in it, pick it up for sure. It's not going to get cheaper than this, probably, at least not for a very long time, and the customization is pretty nice. Next up, we have the Rune Cheburek. This thing's pretty interesting. It's got a lot of cardboard that you can put on it, which is cool. It's based off of a Lada as well, and I believe it's relatively cheap, going for, yeah, $164,380. You can't go wrong. For that price, you literally can't go wrong with the Rune Cheburek. Even if it gives you a laugh for 5 minutes, it's pretty much worth it. I think this thing's an awesome car, generally. Not performance-wise, but in every other aspect, I think it's pretty awesome. Next up, we have the Canis Kalahari. This yeah, it sucks. And how much does it cost? 40 grand. For 40 grand, you kind of can't go wrong. It's kind of good off-road actually, but yeah, it's a meme. It's a bit of a meme car. Unfortunately, barely any customization as well, and it's quite ugly, not gonna lie. But 40 grand, I don't know, it's your choice, it's your call for sure. And of course, last but not least, we have the removed Coil Cyclone available this week as well, and this thing goes for, I believe, $1.9 million. It's got good performance. If you're on new gen, I would say get the Coil Cyclone 2 probably for an extra like 300 grand. But if you're on last gen, it's kind of a cool car. It's got a little bit of customization. Performance is actually pretty good for an electric car, and it is fully electric, by the way. Absolutely no gas, anything to do with this car. So fully electric, do keep that in mind. Customization's pretty cool though. Performance generally pretty good. And tragically, I have to report that Luxury Autos has not changed. It is still fucking garbage. Comment spam this video, like spam this video, interaction spam this video as much as you possibly can. We need to get the word out to Rockstar to please, for the love of God, do something about Luxury Autos, man. This is a joke at this point. It's been like 8 months straight of just trash at Luxury Autos, man. We gotta fix this. They gotta do something about this. I'm getting pissed off about this. Within the chop shop this week, these are the vehicles that are available to be stolen. Now, starting off with the Grotti Turismo Classic, you're going to need to complete the McTony robbery in order to get it. For the Annis Euros, you are going to have to complete the Gangbanger robbery, and for the Bravado Greenwood, you need to complete the Podium robbery. And next up, of course, we got to go over the time trials for the week. Your RC Bandito time trial for today is Cypress Flats. Your Junk Energy time trial is Mirror Park. Your regular time trial is Pillbox Hill. Your Madrazo hit is right here, and your HSW time trial starts at Terminal and ends up here at the Chiliad State Wilderness. Anyway guys, there you have it. That has been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new and you enjoy the content that I make. Going for 300k this year, so if you want to help me get there, that would be really, really cool. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.